Whoa, things are not looking good for Ubisoft, but is anybody shocked at this point? After just the massive, just crap storm that has been going on for Ubisoft over the past year even. Most of the videos I've covered about gaming that were negative, a lot of them were about Ubisoft stuff. You've got the failures of X-Defiant, which I recently covered. You've got the not-so-hot Star Wars Outlaws that's pretty much been failing across the board in one way, shape, or form. It was just completely broken with glitches and bugs to begin with, and screwed over a lot of players that paid extra money to get it early. You've got the inevitable bomb coming out that's caused so much controversy, which was the Assassin's Creed Shadows game. That's coming out in, I think, February, if I remember correctly. They pushed that back because they're trying to let some of the crap cool down on it, but it's not going to. People will remember, and it's going to fail big time. They've got an entire country of Japan pissed off at them over that game. But regardless, now they're apparently restructuring and laying off a bunch of staff, and they might sell. Ubisoft might get bought out by a Chinese company, Tencent.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
I've got all the latest news on that, but before we get into it, my name is Troy for Marks on Media, and if you could, before we get into the story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to be notified every time I post brand new content Monday through Friday. Now, let's get into it.
Marks on Media.
This coming from IGN. Days after shutting X-Defiant and shutting X-Defiant? I believe they mean shutting down X-Defiant and laying off hundreds of staff, Ubisoft is reportedly considering how to structure a Tencent buyout without the Guillemot family losing control. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Ubisoft's share prices skyrocketed today. This was back on the 6th, by the way, so I did not check it today, what it's sitting at. But anyway, amid intensifying rumors that Chinese megacorp Tencent is engaging in buyout talks. By the way, Tencent, mostly the games that they produce, Tencent games, it's mostly stuff like mobile games and whatever. So I don't think they've put anything on platform. Correct me if I'm wrong. At least nothing like major, whatever. But the company behind Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six Siege has suffered a torrid year with multiple studio closures, mass layoffs, and game shutdowns. The company's next big game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, was delayed into 2025, and Star Wars Outlaws failed to meet sales expectations. You could say that again. According to Reuters, Ubisoft shareholders are considering how to structure a possible buyout of the French company without reducing the founding Guillemot family's control. Oh yeah, wouldn't want to force out the losers that currently run the thing. That would be awful.
Dang it.
The Guillemot family is the largest shareholder in Ubisoft and is reportedly in talks with Tencent and other investors as it seeks funding a management buyout. Tencent is the second largest shareholder in Ubisoft with 10%, and according to Reuters, has yet to decide whether to fund the buyout. I think it would be smart of them, and then they can just kind of gut the company and start over. Reuters said Tencent's indecision is partly because it has asked for a greater say on future board decisions, including cash flow distributions in return for financing the deal. Apparently the Guillemot family has yet to agree to those terms, but Tencent is willing to wait for them to come around.
Do it. Okay. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, a couple more failures, tank your name a little bit more, drag it through the mud just a bit more, dirty it up, and then we'll come in and gut it and wear the name Ubisoft around like a skin suit. Tencent declined to comment when contacted by Reuters, with the Guillemot family rep failing to respond. But a Ubisoft spokesperson did comment, saying, quote, we remain committed to making decisions in the best interest of all of our stakeholders. In this context, as we have already indicated, the company is also reviewing all of its strategic options.
Right.
Ubisoft's shares fell to the lowest level in the last decade in September after it made a series of dramatic announcements around the performance of its games. As well as delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft announced a return to Steam after a period of PC launch exclusivity on the Epic Games Store, with Star Wars Outlaws recently releasing on Valve's platform. Which shocks me a little bit, only because Disney's teaming up with Epic Games, and Star Wars obviously a Disney property. So, but either way, it's just kind of funny that that's the one they start with. The latest news comes hot on the heels of Ubisoft's announcement that it plans to shut down Call of Duty competitor XDefiant. I mean, they wanted it to be a competitor, but it in no way was a competitor. It got blown out in the rear by Black Ops 6 in its production studio in San Francisco and Osaka, while ramping down its site in Sydney, with up to 277 employees losing their jobs. Roughly half of the XDefiant team will be assigned roles elsewhere. Shares in Ubisoft are up 12.52% today, December 6th, following the Tencent buyout reports. You know that you're a gigantic failure when there's an announcement that you might sell to a Chinese company and everybody's like, my God, we're going to buy in. It's just funny that nobody had any hope in this damn company at all. Like I just said, back in September, they were at the lowest. Their stock was at the lowest ever for the entire company's been around and on the stock market. And then they were like, we might sell, and this new bigger Chinese corporation is going to come in and just like clean house and start new. And the founders maybe could possibly be out on their ass, and everybody's like, I got to buy in. It's insane, but it's not surprising, I should say. I just listed the laundry list of failures they've had this year, from XDefiant to Star Wars Outlaws, that's had, we'll just say, a bumpy rollout. At the nicest possible phrasing I can use is bumpy.
I want to throw up and kill myself.
It's been pretty much a failure all the way around. And then you've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is just this shadow of that game is looming over Ubisoft and will it's not going to go well for them upon launch. I'll just say that, and that's undeniable at this point. It's not going to do well. They're going to lose a bunch of money on that one. The sales of Star Wars Outlaws are not good, and XDefiant they had to issue refunds for. They're losing money and they're failing. Nobody's excited about them. Nobody has confidence in them. Nobody's excited about any of their future games, any of their future launches. Nothing. They've got no bullets left in the chamber to fire at this point. Everything is done. They're not going to compete with any other game studio at this point with similar products. Ubisoft at one point was a beloved company that a lot of people gave a crap about, and it had a lot of cachet. Nowadays, not so much. It's more of a punchline online than anything. Every time Ubisoft announces a new game, everybody goes, "Ah."
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
And they just wait for the crap to roll downhill. And it's always something, and it's always embarrassing at this point. I don't know what the hell happened, if they hired a bunch of activists that cared more about diversity and inclusion over quality. I don't know if that's it. That seems to be one of the issues, but I can't blame that on the entire thing. It might just be in hiring incompetent people, period, and them just being a gigantic failure. But I don't know. I don't really have any opinions on Tencent one way or another. Just because they're a Chinese company doesn't mean that they're necessarily evil. I mean, there's a lot of evil American companies too. So a lot of, I mean, this is a French company and they suck. So, whatever.
Yep.
If people are worried about them gathering gamer data and selling it to the highest bidder, freaking Mark Zuckerberg does that now. Jack Dorsey would do that. I'm sure Elon is doing it. All this is allegedly, by the way, I have to say.
Allegedly!
Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo are probably all doing that too. So what the F ever? That's not an argument for me as to why this is a bad idea. If I will ask all of you to comment down below, do you think it's a bad idea for Ubisoft to sell to Tencent? Should they just freaking go through with it? Just pull the trigger, man? And do you think that the Guillemot family should still have a majority say so in anything after a couple of years now of failure at this point, and them just continuing to go downhill with no end in sight? Or do you think that things should just keep on keeping on for Ubisoft and they eventually get... Because they're going to get bought out by somebody. It's going to happen. They're not going to keep going on the way they are and save themselves. There's not going to be enough games or enough things to make them money to keep them out of financial trouble long term. But let me know down in the comments section what you guys think about that. If you want to read the article yourself, I'm linking it down in the video description to give IGN credit and all of that fun stuff. And if you could, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell to stay up to date every time I post brand new content or I go live. I am Troy for Marks on Media, and I'll catch you next time.